I want to thank you so much for joining us this incredible evening. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is our webinar, an interesting webinar called How to Start Your Month Right to Create Maximum Monthly Income. Now, this is a generic training that applies to any direct sales or network marketing business. So before I get started, let me just, if you could permit me to introduce myself. I am a retired attorney, a best-selling author, speaker, and the CEO of the Life Skill Institute. I've been in the network marketing arena for over 30 years that I will own up to, okay? And have really spent a lot of time working with major companies. I was 3 times, let's just say this, I have been in 18 different companies that I can remember. And 15 of them, probably like many of you, we made friends and lost money. 3 of them, though, were life-changing. And one of the companies was a company that the bottom picture there with Eric Worre. We were in the same company, and I guess this was at least 25 years ago. But it was a company that changed our lives. There with Stedman Graham, one of my relatives, and of course the CEO of LifeVantage, one of the companies that I'm associated with. All right, let us roll on. I've been an author, and our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, has been the book of the month for many network marketing companies. It has changed lives because a part of network marketing is personal growth and development. You will earn as much as you see yourself earning. And so your income in network marketing varies directly with your level of personal development. So knowing this, we're going to move on into our course for today. And this is an introductory course called How to Start Your Month Right to Create Maximum Monthly Income. This is a free webinar presentation. And I would recommend that you get a pad and pen and really and truly take that pad and pen and be able to take some good notes, because the notes that I'm sharing with you are not company specific, but I guarantee you that every company, every network marketing company, every direct marketing, direct sales company, the same principles apply. So let me get started. So the question is, what must you do to start your month strong, build momentum, and set up to close out your month strong for maximum income? And so I'm going to ask a question. Would you like to start your month strong, build momentum, and set yourself up to get a big check at the end of this month? If you would like to do that, please put 1 in your chat box. If you would like to create great income at the end of this month, put 1 in the chat box. Massive income this month, put 1 in the chat box. Okay, 1, beautiful. Okay, thank you. Well, let me tell you this, folks. You're at the right place at the right time. So let us keep moving. And thank you for your input. In network marketing, I like to begin with, I call the foundation. This foundation is the same for any company, any organization, any product. And the foundation says this. I call it the 4 selves for success in network marketing. Someone once said, that's bad grammar. True, but I'll tell you this, it is good sense. The first self is self-responsible. That whatever happens in your network marketing business, it's up to you. Whether you are successful, whether you are not successful, it's up to you. And so as you take on this business for yourself, your own business, the first thought is that I am responsible for my life and affairs. I am responsible for success in this company. It doesn't matter about the product, the management, the leadership, but you are responsible because you have the ability to respond to whatever the conditions are. And so in the final analysis, whether you succeed or not is in your hands. The second self is self-motivated. It's important to be self-motivated because the moment you decide to go into business for yourself, you no longer have a boss. But in fact, you are the boss. You are your own boss. And so to be self-motivated, it means that you now have to ring your bell. You now have to set your schedule. You now have to lay out your work plan. And if you don't do that, you will probably not be successful. Network marketing is a business where you can't wait for somebody else to ring your bell, for somebody else to wake you up. You have to do it yourself. The third self is to be self-determined. Like any business, there are going to be things that happen that you didn't expect to happen, that you didn't want to happen. And when these things happen, I guess you might say you have to roll with the punches. And so self-determined, I like to think of that attitude that there was a movie, I think 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying. And it's that type of determination. Even another type of determination, I think when Cortez was in Mexico and he wanted the gold from the Mexican mountains, and he had about 600 men and I think 5 or 6 ships, and there were about 10,000 Mexican Indians who wanted to kill him. And he wanted to find a way to really increase the determination of his soldiers and really get their level of motivation up to the point where they could prevail. And so he burned the ships so that there was no retreat. There was no alternative, win or die. And that's important because as you do this business, things will happen that may discourage you, and you have to pick yourself up and say, hey, if it's to be, it's up to me, and I'm going to get this done. The fourth self is self-functional. That you must learn, practice, and master the skills for success in network marketing. One of the beauties about this business is that there are really only 9 skills. And they're very simple skills. None of them require education. As a matter of fact, network marketing probably has more millionaires that have only a high school diploma or who don't even have a high school diploma. You don't need any degrees. You don't need any specialized education to be successful in network marketing. But you do need a dream, and you must master these 9 skills. Skill number 1, getting started. How do you set yourself up? How do you set your goals? How do you write your why? How do you lay out your schedule for when you want to do your business? So getting started. There's a process to that. And this course, this webinar is really devoted to how do you get started at the beginning of each month to have a big check at the end of the month. Number 2, databasing. Who do you talk to? One of the things that often disappoints us in network marketing is that the people that we love and who are closest to us often do not see your dream. And that you often get a better reception from people you don't know than the people you do know. So recognize that databasing is a process of putting down the names of people you know as prospects for your business. The third skill is inviting. And inviting is simply that, asking a person to take a look. Sometimes we get inviting mixed up with presentation. In other words, we really want a person to take a look, but we spend 20 minutes bending their ear about the business and the timing and the corporation and the product, when all you wanted them to do was to take a look. We're going to talk on that. The fourth skill is follow-up. What are the steps that you must follow to capitalize and to captivate the interest that a person has shown in your business? The fifth skill is to tell the story. In other words, a presentation where you tell the complete picture of the company, the product, the timing, the training, and the compensation, so that a prospect can go from being a prospect to being a customer or a distributor. The sixth skill is to answer questions, to resolve concerns, and to close, to ask for the check. The seventh skill is accountability. This is a business, and just as on your job, you are accountable to your employer for your time and for your production. In network marketing, you're accountable to yourself for your time and your production. The eighth skill is prospecting. How do you find new people to talk to? And the ninth skill is promoting events. That is really what we do. We promote events and introduce new people to that system. So these are the 9 skills that you will master. We'll be touching on many of them tonight, but this is the type of things that you need to be successful in the business. So the key to starting the month strong is to understand the exposure cycle for your particular product or service. Oh, thank you, thank you. Now, think about this for a moment, those on the webinar, and I surely thank you for being here, that when we talk about the exposure cycle, number one, have you thought about the fact that we really don't sell anything? Let me rephrase that question. Do you think that we sell a product or a service, or do you think that we expose people and let them buy? If you think it's more powerful to expose people and let them buy, put a 2 in the chat box. Expose people to our product, expose people to our business, expose people to our service, rather than to sell them something. Linda, thank you, a 2. Our job is to expose. And so I want us to get that idea of selling out of your heads, because that can get us so confused when we think about selling. It's really about exposing people and letting people make the choice. And so in this business, the key to starting the month strong is to understand that exposure cycle for your particular product or service. Thank you so much. Every network marketing program has an exposure cycle. Whether it's a service, whether it's a product, whether it's whatever it is, it has an exposure cycle. And what that really means is the process of moving a prospect, a person who may or may not come into your business, who may or may not buy your product or service, but the process of moving a prospect from a first exposure, from a hi, my name is Herbert, to a decision. Sometimes we call it to move a suspect, and a suspect is just a name on a piece of paper, to becoming a prospect, someone who may be interested in what you're doing, to becoming a customer or a team member. That's all our business is about. That's all we do, is we move suspects to become prospects, to become customers or team members. That's the golden nugget tonight, folks. We can hang up and go home. Okay. Another concept I want to share with you is called expose, involve, upgrade. Expose meaning that we ask people to take a look at our product, to take a look at our business, to take a look at our service. And then we get them involved by asking them questions. So take a look at your product. What is your product? Whatever it is. They take a look and you say, what did you like most about what you see or what you heard? And once they start telling you, that's the involvement. And then the upgrade is where you take a person's exposure and the involvement, the interaction where they ask questions or dialogue about your product or service, and then upgrade that to move on to the next level. So many of us use videotapes or videos. And so expose maybe take a look at the video. Involve is what did you like best about it? Upgrade, would you like more information? Everybody follow me on that? Okay. This is what I call the Diamond Success Training System. And I want us to, let me see if I can magnify it a little bit. Okay. The Diamond Success System. Life is our network marketing is like a baseball diamond. Everybody starts at home base, and when you score a run, you come back to home base. And so the exposure cycle goes from getting started, your strategy session, you're identifying your why. That's the first skill. The second skill of databasing, making a list, and then qualifying that list to determine who to call first. And then inviting them, the third skill, to ask them to take a look, not sell, just take a look. If there's one thing that messes us up is we talk too much. And to take a look at something. And first base is a first exposure. It may be a video. It may be a website. It may be a sample. It may be a written, a printed document. But it's to take a look, and then the fourth skill, the follow-up. So a person takes a look at first base. They're exposed. Then you involve with them and interact, and you get their questions answered by following up, and they go to second base. Second base is generally a business base. It's your business. So whatever you opened with on first base, when you get to second base, that's where you would ask a person in your follow-up, would you like more information about? And then third base is generally questions and answers. So as a person goes through the exposure process, when people go to first base, they may not be interested in your business, so they may go straight to third base and be interested in your product. Or they may go through the business cycle and then have a lot of questions. And so third base, again, where you answer their questions and deal with their objections. So that is the system. At the end of, as a person has gone around that cycle, they end up as either a distributor, a wholesale buyer, a wholesale customer of some sort, a retail customer, or they may be a person in what we call the pipeline. They went around, but they didn't see anything. They didn't make a decision to say yay or nay. Or you may get a referral. Who do you know? But this is the exposure system. So now let's go on into what we're dealing with tonight. So our question is, what do you do to start strong this month? And the idea of starting strong is that we call it an 8-step process to start strong. And step 1 is to prepare a written schedule for the entire month. Now, one of the things that we provide is a form for doing that, a written schedule for the entire month. And once you have that written schedule, see, that's important because you can be successful in this business doing it full-time or part-time. You can't do it sometime. And so that written schedule for the entire month is critical because it now says, I am open for business on these months, on these hours, and on these days. Step 2 is to get your tools in place. So once you have your schedule, then what are your tools? And your tools are the things that you need to expose people. They're really primarily exposure tools and follow-up tools. Example, the tools may be videos, maybe web links, maybe printed materials, maybe scripts. But the key point to starting off strong and in fact to running your business successfully is to have your toolbox complete. If you don't know the videos that you need to watch, you're at a loss. If you don't have printed materials, now there's so much of a trend towards doing stuff on the phone. But guess what? When you show somebody something on your phone, they can't take that picture with them. So printed material is still powerful. And scripts, things that tell you what to say when. And so once you've gotten your schedule and you put your toolbox together, then the step 3, and this is critical, is to select a partner. You see, network marketing is a team sport. It's not an ego sport. It's a we go sport. Selecting a partner is critical because you need someone to lean on. You know the skill of accountability? You can be accountable to yourself, but to get the power of what network marketing can be, you have to have that accountability between yourself and another person, yourself and your team, yourself and your group. Because there's a certain harmonic that comes about because of that energizes you, that keeps you plugged in. Sometimes when you get discouraged, that accountability partner can pump you up. Another day he may be or she may be discouraged and you can pump them up. But selecting a partner is critical. And once you select the partner, you all can match up your schedules so that you can work together. When you have your partner there, there's an accountability system where you talk twice a day to hold each other accountable to help move you along. Step number 4 is to set written goals for the month. You see, this is important because if you don't begin to focus on your goals at the very beginning of the month, if you don't read your goals over each and every day, 2 or 3 times a day, especially at the beginning of the month, it's very easy to lose your path, to lose sight, and get sidetracked. We have forms to write your goals down so that your goals are in place and they're written and you can refer to them and you share your goals with your partner. And then you all work out that schedule between you so that you can support one another. Number 5, assess your situation. I'm going to pause right here for a moment and just ask if have you given any thoughts to who you may want as a partner? That if you just think about it for a moment when we complete this webinar tonight, but think about somebody that you would like to have as a partner. And it doesn't have to be a person who is more advanced than you are. It's just a person that you can be accountable to. Sometimes it's better not to have a close friend or a family member, but it may be better to deal with somebody else. Let me ask those of you on the webinar tonight, have you ever worked in an environment where you had a partner and it really helped you having that partner? If you did, write yes. If you've been in an environment where you had to work with a partner and you could really see the value of that partnership, write yes. Shamika, thank you. Great. Yeah, the partnership, network marketing is a very spiritual business. And there's a spiritual principle that says when 2 or more gather on one accord, I am, that's the making power, the ability to magnify and multiply your talents. I am is in the house. And so once you have that partnership, thank you so much, each and every one of you, because that is the key to the business, to having an accountability partner. Because with your accountability partner, you can now assess your situation. And when I say assess your situation, what I mean is to look at what's going on right now in your business. Who's in your pipeline? So when you assess your situation, one of the things that we train is this, is that you want to know, number one, who's in the pipeline. If you can imagine that baseball diamond we talked about, the people that are in the pipeline are the folks who have gone around that baseball diamond. Okay. They have been exposed to the product, maybe. They've been exposed to maybe a business opportunity or a video or a meeting. Maybe they've been all the way around the cycle and they had some questions and maybe they became a customer. But the key to starting the month off is to make a list of everybody who has been into your system over the last month or two. Sometimes you may lose people in the sauce. Stuff happens to them and they're not around. But when you assess your situation, number one, you have to be working from a list. If you're not working from a list, make a list. Who have you introduced to our program? Who have you introduced to the product? When you make a list, you want to not only indicate who the person was, but also what happened. You may have a note, saw the product, tried a sample. You may have another note, attended a business opportunity meeting. You may have another note, watched the video. And so once you make that list, we call it the low-hanging fruit. At the beginning of the month, there's a continuity between last month and this month. And so when you end last month with a lot of momentum, and we're going to do a whole nother training later on how to close the month out strong. But when you close out your month, you'll end up with the people who make a decision and the people who don't, for whatever reason. Maybe they had objections. Maybe they didn't have the money. But this list now becomes your working list for next month, for the new month. So that's a part of assessing your situation. So who's in the pipeline? Looking back even at your own list of people, many times you'll have people that didn't quite get into the pipeline, but you want to expose them this month. So look at your regular list of names. We always say you need a list of 100 names, and you do. And so look at that list of names to see who you want to reach out to this month. So between the people in the pipeline, the people on your list, and you may also ask for referrals. Many times when people have not really bought into the program, but they came out, but they don't seem motivated, then you ask the referral question. And this is one of the things we teach when we go into this in detail. The referral question is this: who do you know that would be interested in having a secondary income? Who do you know that is health conscious and would like to have more energy? Who do you know that is health conscious and would like to own a health and wellness business? Who do you, in other words, not do you know anybody, because it's so easy to say yes and no, but who do you know? This assessment of where you are right now is powerful, because if there's nobody on that list, then you're at ground zero. You need to start over. That's okay. Make a new list. But once you assess your situation, then you want to, one, find out where they are, and then two, what do they need to go forward? In our training sheet, we have a question, and we call it the smoke out question. And so if a person has been exposed, but they couldn't make a decision, the smoke out question would be, what do you have to see or hear to be able to move forward now with our program? You see, these are some of the scripts that we have. And when you assemble all your tools, you have everything right there. So that when you approach the people on that list, on your prospect list, on your power list, you know what to do. What do you need to see or hear to be able to move forward now with our program? Once they do that, you make a note and then you do it. If they say, I need more information about the marketing plan, then you schedule to sit down with them. You schedule to use the three-party. Many times people don't move forward just because they've only heard it from you and they know you. So you may need to bring in a third party. Third-party validation is awesome. So many times when you have people in that loop, the thing that you say, what do you need to see or hear to move forward? By the way, one of our top people is going to be giving me a call today. It's going to be in the area. Okay. Would you be open to getting your questions answered by him or her? Yes, great. So that can be a whole nother way. But the idea is that look at each person as a seed, because that seed can be $1 million producer. Don't just write them off cheaply, but assess your situation, look at who's in the pipeline, and then act on it. Step number 6, develop your plan. Now, one of the things that we like to teach when we talk about starting the month off strong, I call it the 10-10-10 plan. And we have a planning sheet where you can put down your step-by-step activities so that you can execute the plan. The first 10 days of the month, your focus should be exposing as many people as possible. So that first 10 days, you want to get the old list, the people in the pipeline, the people that you have on your prospect list. And once you've set your goals, you know how many people to expose. For example, for every one distributor, being conservative, you will probably have to do 5 presentations. For every presentation, you will probably have to ask at least 5 people to take a look. 5 people will agree to take a look. And so to get one distributor requires about 5 presentations, requires about 25 people who say they will take a look. Those are the numbers, folks. I didn't make them. If you look at the stats, that's kind of where it goes. So the first 10 days, you want to focus on putting people in the system, exposure, and then taking them through to make a decision. The beauty of that first days is that when you bring over people from the last month, you have the benefits of the time that they spent last month learning about the product, learning about the business, learning about you. So now the second 10 days of the month, that middle of the month, the goal is in that first 10 days to get a distributor. We're talking business. And so if you put forth that effort in that first 10 days, you got a distributor, then in the second 10 days, you begin training that distributor and still maintaining your schedule. And see, that way, when a person comes in, you get right on them and you start them through the training process of doing what you've already learned how to do. Can you imagine what a month you would have if during that first 10 days you were able to enroll one distributor? During the second 10 days, you help that distributor set their goals, make their calls, do their memory jog, and make their invite, and now they got a distributor. So now you've gotten one distributor in the first 10 days, a second distributor, your new distributor has a distributor in their first 10 days, and now going into the last 10 days of the month, you have 2 excited people. And so when you look at this 10-day, 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 it gives you a way to build excitement. But the key is starting right so you can get the momentum from last month. Step 7 is to develop an accountability system. And one of the things we do is we have accountability forms. Once you got an accountability partner, it's really simple. It doesn't take a lot of time. I like to call in the morning with my accountability partner and say, this is what I'm going to do today. These are the 5 people I'm going to contact. These are the 3 people I'm going to follow up on. And then at the end of the day, when you talk to your accountability people, I called all 5. I got 4 of them. I left a message. These three, this happened, that happened. Folks, it's amazing having that accountability system. It like guides you and moves you along because you never like to disappoint somebody. And then finally, step 8, to execute your plan on a daily basis. We have forms where you can lay out your daily action plan. Use that action plan now to get the results you desire. All right, let's take a little breather here. Let me come back and all right. Does your accountability partner have to be in your business? That's a great question, Patrick. It doesn't have to be. I have used accountability partners that were in other businesses. And as long as you have that understanding, the role of the accountability partner is really just to keep score. So you can have an accountability partner in another business. Sometimes that might even be ideal because you begin to see the commonality of the businesses, that it's the same business principles over and over. Any other questions? That's a great question, Patrick. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. So when we look at these 8 steps, the idea is that you build on the momentum from last month. You take the carryover from the people who were in the system last month. You help to get them a decision, get them to make a decision this month, and then you add new people. That's the lifeblood of our business. All right. Any other questions? Any other comments? Okay. So now, these 8 steps guide you. When you implement these 8 steps, implementing these 8 steps can put you on target to start your month strong. Yeah, see that. When you implement these 8 steps, especially in that first 10 days, it's something about the fact that you do it. You will get results. You may get a customer. You may get 3 or 4 customers. The way the system is built, when you expose people to whatever you sell, product, service, that a certain amount of people are going to want what you have. So implementing these 8 steps can set you up for success. You see, the stronger you start the month, think about this, the more people you put into the cycle in the beginning of the month, the greater is going to be your end of the month. Starting good, starting strong will motivate you to close strong. So the key to success in network marketing is to learn, practice, and master the skills and the strategies for success. And so that's one of the reasons that we are offering. Many of you took our 2-part course before on procrastination. But this is why we're offering a 2-part online course entitled How to Start Your Month Right to Create Maximum Income. How to start your month right to create maximum income. And we're offering this class because, number one, part 1 of the 2-part class provides the information, the training, the forms, the strategies, and the activity assignments. So in the first part of the class, in this part 1, we'll show you how to make your schedule, and we'll provide the forms for you to lay out your schedule, every one of your exercises. Number 2, we'll make sure that you collect up and get yourself a partner, and then provide those partner accountability sheets so that you all can do it every day. The strategies of the way to use the different scripts, the way to use to move people through that process, through the exposure system. And then those activity assignments that say, well, hey, take this script. How do you approach, when you look on your list of people, how do you approach a business person? You have these business cards. What do you say to them? Do you start trying to sell them? You know, that we have some scripts that say things like, hey, I see that you are in business for yourself. Okay? Have a question for you. If a publicly traded company, if a powerful nutrition company, if an environmental company, whatever, if a company was moving into this area that was creating excitement with an incredible product, with people making money, would you want to know about it? Yes, that's an invite. So these are the kind of things we cover in part one: the information, the training, the forms, the strategies, the activity assignments. Part two is a hands-on, a Q&A session, an open Zoom session, so we can see and talk to one another. And we can go through practical examples so you can see how these concepts apply. Many times we'll read about it, somebody will tell us about it in training, but we never get that hands-on experience. So in our part two, the Q&A practical session, you can actually get hands-on experience using these examples and setting up your action plan that we can all review and critique. Now, just based on what we've said, folks, let me ask you a question. Based on what you've heard tonight, yes, procrastination. Patrick, we'll get you some information about the procrastination course. Thank you. Based on what you've heard tonight, does this course, this online course, to help you start your month off strong, does this sound like something that you feel would really help you in your business? If you feel that this course would really help you, please write yes in the box, in your chat box. If you think it'll really help you, that starting off your month is important, that having a system to start off your month is important, put yes in the chat box. Thank you, Patrick. So the others, yes in the chat box if you think this course will help you. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. Any other yeses? To start off your month strong would be a great benefit to you and your business. Right? Yes. So now, back to our webinar. Part one, for example, is starting tomorrow night. We want to get it started before the end of the month so that you could be positioned to get great results next month. And I want to share why I believe you should really take this two-part course. Well, number one, we're going to show you how to set up your schedule and provide some easy-to-use forms. So all you have to do is fill in the blanks that will facilitate the scheduling process, and these forms will be available for you to train your team. You see, the key to network marketing is duplication. If only you can do it or only I can do it, it's not going to work. But it's to have a system in place to help the people you bring into business become successful. The second reason, we'll show you how to locate and assemble your tools and provide some tried and true scripts. You see, scripts make you feel comfortable. It's not that you're a scripted person, but it's the idea that you feel comfortable talking to a prospect because you know what to say. So we'll show you how to locate and assemble your tools and provide tried and true scripts that can help you move your prospect to a final decision. A third reason is that we'll show you how to set goals for the month. When you know the numbers, Bill Britt, one of the giants in our industry, said that when he died, his residual income was about $6 million a year. And he said that over his period of his about 10-year period, that he showed the plan. He did presentations to 1,200 people. That means he kept records. That of those 1,200 people, 900 people said no, but 300 people said yes. Okay. Of the 300 people who said yes, 85 of them did a little something. 85 of them made enough money to stay around for a few years. 215 went into witness protection. He said of the 85 who stayed around, 35 made significant income, 5- and 6-figure incomes. But he said of the 35 who were successful, 11 of them made him a millionaire. Everybody doesn't have to be a millionaire, but the point I want to make is it's a numbers game. So 1 in 100, and you have to be willing to go through the numbers. And so when you set your goals and know exactly what you're doing, you're more comfortable going through the numbers. The fourth reason, we'll show you how to assess your business situation. Look at the low-hanging fruit. Which prospects are in your pipeline? Where are they? What do you need to say to them to move them forward? Who is still on your prospect list? Who didn't you get to? And then getting referrals. I think if there's one thing that most of us miss the boat on, is referrals. And then 5, we will provide forms and systems to keep up with your prospects, and so that you always know the next steps. Many times we hesitate to take action because we're not sure what we do. Once you take our class, our 2-day class, you'll be clear on what to do to get started. And then number 6, we'll provide an accountability system where you and your partner can support and encourage each other to mutually achieve your goals. It's something about having that team in place that makes all the difference. And so I guess the question is, so what does it cost? I like to say, someone once said that a poor man will ask, how much does it cost? A rich man will ask, how much can I make? So let's look at the value of this system. When you use this system to grow your check, what will that do for your confidence? Think about that now. You use this system and it works for you over the next 30 days and it grows your check. Man, you're going to be bulletproof. Number 2, if you use this system to help your new distributors get a check, think about that. That first 10 days, if you get a distributor in the business, then you work them so that in their first 10 days, they get a distributor. Folks, the reason why people die on the vine is because they don't bear fruit quick enough. But if you help your new distributor get a check, and boy, will they be excited? You bet they will. So we're starting the course tomorrow so that you can get all the information, forms, and materials to be ready to start the new month with a bang. The other beautiful thing is that those who get started with us tomorrow will be a part of an accountability team for the next month. We'll be working together for massive results. And I'll tell you this, anybody who comes in and works with us for 30 days, their life is going to be different. New ball game, okay? So what does it all cost? We had a big conference about that at our company, and we talked about this 2-part course. And, most of our team members said this course should be at least $100 because this course, if you sponsor and enroll one person, you'll make the money back. This should be. But I thought about it, I know that many of us are right now at a point where we really need something good to happen in our businesses. That's a question I'm going to ask them. To those on the webinar tonight, are you at a point where you really need to see something good happen in your business? If you're at that point, write 7 in the chat box. If you're at that point where you can say, I really need something good to happen in my business, write 7 in the chat box. Shamika, thank you. Shamika said, yes, right on time. Need that for sure. Thank you, Shamika. Listen, you're going to make incredible money. Looking forward to working with you. Then 7, yes, yes. All right, folks, we're in the right place. I look forward to working with you over this next 30 days. Wow. Okay. And I'll tell you this, any of your team members that weren't on, there'll be a replay. And they can definitely take a look and get started tomorrow. So now let's wrap it up. Since the course starts tomorrow, we are offering a special price tonight. And really, anybody that you would like to bring in tomorrow, we can work that out. But we're offering a special price tonight for only $47 if you act tonight. And it will have, you get all your handouts, all the forms, some special ebook information about how to take advantage of the first part of the month. And I'll tell you this, folks, we do this together for these next 30 days. And we're going to have so many people sharing powerful testimonials about how they turned their business around, how they made it work for them. And I'm just going to be there smiling like a proud papa because I know you can do it. So let me recap what you will receive. 1, 2 online sessions, interactive Q&A session. Number 2, all forms, scheduling forms, memory jogger, qualifying. In other words, you're going to have all the tools. Your toolbox is going to be full and more. So since the course starts tomorrow, we have that special rate of $47 at tonight, and you'll get an email with the link so that you can register tonight. If for some reason you don't get that email, please email me directly at herbert@herbertharris.com. That's herbert@herbertharris.com. And anyone that you know, any of your team members that you would like to partner up with and work this program, make sure they get on and get registered tonight or the latest tomorrow. But folks, wow, what a night. Thank you so much. What a night. This is Dr. Herbert Harris saying that I certainly appreciate your being here. That my goal is to help people achieve success in network marketing. I've been in the industry for 30 years, and the last 25 years have been incredible. And one of the things I have found that I want to share is that back in the early 90s, when I really had our first major success, it gave us a chance to retire from our law practice and to follow our dreams. And for the last 25 years or so, we've been on that path, thank God for network marketing. I just regret that more people haven't done it. And so I'm committed this year to helping people who want to know, who want to work, who have a dream, to facilitate that dream and to create walkaway residual income that can take care of them for the rest of their lives. This is Dr. Herbert Harris saying thank you so much. It's been my honor to be on this with you. Look for your email with the link so that you can register for the class starting tomorrow. I'll be personally teaching it. And most of all, folks, I look forward to your being what you want to be doing what you want to do and having whatever you want to have. And so it is. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the class tomorrow night.